Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 9th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. Sure, we'll take all three. You have this chameleon spirit. It says act as if. You have this bee spirit. It says sweet results await. And you have this buffalo spirit. It says the abundant universe will provide. So we're off to a great start here. And those three cards really wanted to come out together. I was only trying to grab two. And, it could be a very abundant time for you. It is an amazing time to act as if. I think that is like the secret sauce for everyone right now. If you could just be the thing that you want to be right now, or if you could just imagine having the things that you want to have right now, then things could go very, very well. And, that's really what I would be working on with this energy. You have the Devil, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Swords. I think a lot of people could be releasing certain things in their lives that they know are kind of like holding them back, or maybe that they know is, preventing their success moving forward. And the Devil is, you have the Devil to the Eight of Cups going to the Ten of Pentacles. Like, it's literally saying that if you walk away from any devils in your life, that things will improve significantly. Now, the Devil doesn't have to be like a person. The Devil can be a habit. It can be your health. It can be, I just always say that I think the Devil is just an energy vampire. It's something that steals your energy or makes you feel drained when you are spending time doing whatever it is. Or if it's a person, when you spend time with the person, maybe you're feeling drained or something like that. So the Devil is about, with the Eight of Cups there, is about walking away from those devils in your life. And it's a really good time to do that. We had that full moon in the middle of May. And, even though we're past the full moon, I still feel like people, that was in Scorpio, and, there's definitely Scorpio full moon. It was, there was like weird stuff was making angles to Uranus and everything. It could just be kind of like pointing out things that are toxic for us. And, I think a lot of us have been asked to remove things that are toxic from our lives, plain and simple. And so a lot of you seem to be on that journey here, Aries. You have the Queen of Wands. I think you need to move forward with confidence. It's like if you are releasing things that are toxic in your life, I think moving forward boldly and assertively and like really, going for it and making it happen is like the thing that will lead to the most success with the Queen of Wands. She has to be bold, assertive, confident, sure of herself, and she really has to make things happen. And that's what I feel like you are doing with this card. And sorry, I'm losing my voice today. But, I think you are being bold, assertive, confident, moving towards the sun. She has the sunflower right here, and she has to move towards the sun. She's also the card of learning as you go, and we are pretty much, all of us are in a time of learning as we go. We probably don't know where we're going to end up if we take action on the things we want to take action on right now, but that's kind of like what the universe is encouraging. The universe is encouraging us to be curious. You have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords says follow your curiosity, follow your the questions that you have, right? The Page of Swords is kind of like a child. The Page of Swords asks a lot of questions. If children ask why about 900 times a day, right? So, the Page of Swords is kind of like a card of asking why, being curious about, everything that's happening and everything that's going on in your life. And you never know what you might discover, Aries, by being, kind of curious about whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you're going. And I would just be curious at this time. With the Devil, you have the Two of Wands. Yeah, definitely time to remove yourself from the Devil. It's almost like I get this feeling that you've outgrown something or you've just matured past something. We even end with the King of Swords here. And the King of Swords is the card of maturity. So in a lot of ways, the Two of Wands can just say that, sometimes like toxic things, it's like there can be things in our lives that are, toxic, but maybe it's not like the worst thing in the world, right? That are kind of like forms of protection or, are us kind of being avoidant or whatever, right? And I kind of feel a lot of you are like maturing past those maybe it's like, maybe a better way to put it is like some form of escape that you're walking away from. And again, it doesn't have to be anything super dramatic. It could be like maybe you watch too much Netflix or something. But I kind of see you taking the lead and walking away from those things that hold you back. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it definitely seems to be an Eight of Pentacles week. A lot of people have been getting the Eight of Pentacles for this week. And Eight of Pentacles is like straightforward, diligent work. It's just, putting in the work and he's getting a result. He's very focused on just doing this one thing. It's a card of mastering your craft. So I think it would be an amazing time for a lot of you Aries to like stay focused on the work that you're doing. Of course, as I've said to you before, it's an amazing time for you to see things through to the end. So if you're working on, projects, ideas, businesses, whatever, making sure that you're completing those projects and really seeing things through all the way to the end is going to be the secret for you as well. But I also think the Eight of Pentacles is an amazing card for keeping things simple. He is just focusing on one thing. He's not trying to do 900 things at once. So, focusing, keeping it simple would be a good idea. With the Page of Swords, you have the Hangman. The Hangman can represent seeing things from a different perspective. He is hanging in hangman mode. So I think that seeing things from a different perspective could be very beneficial for you. We are in a time of new perspectives. There's a lot going on. Number one, Jupiter will also be changing from Gemini to Cancer. And we also will have Uranus will be moving into Gemini as well. To me, that is a total perspective shift. It's like literally Jupiter is changing perspective by changing signs, right? And Jupiter loves being in Cancer, so I think Jupiter in Cancer is going to be really good for most people. But then Uranus going to Gemini is like, Uranus is already unexpected, and it's electric, and it's going into an electric sign like Gemini. I think that this could bring in all sorts of new perspectives over the summer. And if we stay, we don't have to agree with anything. We don't have to commit to anything. But if we just stay open and look at both sides and find the best answer for ourselves, then things will go really well. And, that's what I would do. With a lot of people have been getting the Hangman now, and I am convinced it's probably Uranus going into Gemini, but also Jupiter going into Cancer as well. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have the Scarab Spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. You have this Future card. It says, you have perfect clarity in a situation. Trust your inner knowingness. Yes. Probably getting a lot of answers for yourself here, Aries. It's like, I think I kind of get this feeling of confirmation here, where it's like it's almost like you think something and then you find out it's true later. It's like that intuitive confirmation type of feeling that I'm getting off of these two cards. So I think in a lot of ways your intuition could be on fire, not only this week, but I would say for the entire summer. This is a weekly reading, but I kind of feel this is something that's kind of traveling into the future with you. You have the Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. He needs to find true fulfillment. And, I think that there could be some things happening, Aries, where if you're doing things that are not in fulfillment, you could literally be having like physical symptoms. You could be feeling pulled away from things that you don't really want to be doing. So if there are, I know I'm speaking generally here, but this could literally be anything in your life. And you could be thinking like, oh, I don't really want to do this activity or this thing. And, like I said, I feel like you could almost be feeling physical symptoms that are kind of pulling you away from what you're doing, or kind of like moving you in a new direction. And, that's the feeling I get here. You have the Four Swords. Four Swords can represent resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing. So I think a lot of you could be kind of going through healing. Sorry. Or you could be going through some sort of health thing like I am. So if you don't know, I can't, all of it, I was perfectly fine all morning, by the way, but, I'm a day late on your readings, so I was at the doctor's, right, and I'm perfectly fine, there's nothing to worry about, but, I was having some sort of issue, and, come to find out, there's nothing wrong with me, right, I had to go for an ultrasound and all this other stuff, nothing, right, and so, part of me, I don't know. It's kind of interesting, Aries. I personally have a good amount of energy in Aries in my chart. I have Jupiter and Venus there, and they're in my second house. So I'm telling you this story for a reason. I'm not just trying to talk about myself here. But it's like second house is how you value yourself. And, this is popping into my head for you. It's like, maybe some of you could be having physical symptoms due to like, how you value yourself, and like healing would be a good idea. I also think that I needed a break, right? And so like my body made me take a break, and I don't know, it's like I would pay attention to it. Don't get to the point where you like you're like forced to take time off, right? And so that's what I would make sure of with that 4 swords. You have this 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but 7 of Swords really says there are better ways to do everything. You have this card that said what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. I've been saying this since the beginning of the year. It's like, how can you get more out of what you do? It's like, instead of doing more work on like in work or business or career, it's like, how can you get more out of what you already do, right? It's like I go live every single week with my top secret group every single week, right? And those videos, they get turned, I hand them off to an assistant, they get turned into shorts, they get turned into other content, they get turned into written content. It's like I'm reusing that work in a million different ways. And, that is the 7 of Swords. And also this card that says what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. It's like, how can you get more out of the work that you're already doing without having to do more work, right? And I don't know. That's really popping into my head for you here, Aries. With the 8 of Cups, you have the Page of Cups. I do feel very good about love for Aries for this summer. So if you're looking for love, there could definitely be a new connection coming in for you. But it's going to come from walking away from the past. I feel like this is something that's completely new. I do feel it's like a little bit surprising. I'm not like trying to be clickbaity here, Aries, or anything. I just think that, it's like sometimes we're not looking for it, or we're just not expecting it, and that's usually when it shows up. And so I kind of get that feeling for you, where it's like this could be something where it's like you're not really expecting it, but it kind of shows up. I also think that like how this comes together could be a little bit surprising, but whatever. With the 4 of Swords, you have the 10 of Swords. Yes, something is dead, done, over with. I feel like there's something in your life that you no longer enjoy here, Aries, with the Devil card. So it's like if you're doing things that you hate, you're going to have a really hard time. And I feel like the 10 of Swords is saying you need to see the blessing in releasing doing those things that you don't want to do, right? And, that's what I would really pay attention to with this 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords represents a blessing in disguise. He's making a symbol right here. It's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making right here. So in that symbol he's making with his hands represents a blessing. So I really feel that there could be a blessing coming in for you in letting something go. Yes, with the 7 of Swords, you have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, it's like you have to move past something. 3 of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. And I feel a lot of you could be expanding, kind of like into your future or in a different direction in your life. And, this card wants you to expand, the 3 of Wands. It wants you to grow. It wants you to step into the unknown. And I think all of that would be very good for you with the 3 of Wands. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this New Beginnings card and this Forgiveness card. Yes, definitely. I think, forgiving yourself, forgiving the past would be amazing. It's been a long time since I have seen so many forgiveness cards. Like in this week's set of readings for people, everybody has had cards of forgiveness, needing to let go of the past, and all that other stuff. Also, everybody except for you has had a million aces this week, which is interesting. Aces represent new beginnings, especially when we get multiple aces in these readings, right? And so a lot of you could be kind of, having a new beginning or starting some sort of new beginning. And that could also, like, sometimes I think we do have to forgive the past so that we can have a positive new beginning. And that's what I would be doing here. You have the 10 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. 10 of Pentacles is like building, leaving a legacy, and really making something happen. So I love the 10 of Pentacles for you. The 10 of Pentacles to me can just be a really good card of, creating a lot of success in your life, kind of like making it rain, Aries. And I do feel like a lot of you could be improving your finances by letting the past go and, getting more out of the work that you're already doing, like I said. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent marriage, but the Hierophant can also represent blessings. And clearly, there are blessings coming in for you. You have that Bee Spirit, says sweet results await. You have the Buffalo Spirit, says the abundant universe will provide. You have the Ten of Pentacles. You have this card. So, this reading looks really, really good. One thing that I will say is a pain in the ass with the Hierophant is usually we get the blessings from the lessons we've learned. And I would definitely say, Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords in this reading, the Devil, the Two of Wands, you're probably getting these blessings from some sort of lesson that you have already been through. So, that's definitely something you could be dealing with, basically, Aries. But I do think this will be a major improvement for you. So I do like to see it, of course. You have this Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands can represent carrying a heavy burden, but I do feel very good about this for you, Aries. Again, it's like you're finally getting to the end of a long journey or the end of a long cycle. Ten of Wands, he's been carrying a burden, but he's almost about to reach his home in the background there. So I feel a lot of you are very close to reaching your goal with this home in the background. You're very close to kind of like getting to the finish line of something, which of course will be a good thing for you. He's carrying those 10 wands, but those 10 wands are his harvest, and he is about to release that harvest. He is about to finally have his harvest. The story, the card is he planted those wands, and those wands are his harvest. So again, with the 10 of Pentacles, even though you've been putting in the work, it's like you could finally be having harvest. Yes, with the 10 of Pentacles, you have the 7 of Swords. Your 10 of Pentacles is probably a lot easier than you think, and you're just overcomplicating it. And so I would be careful of overcomplication, and I would just keep things simple at this time. 7 of Swords, again, he's going to war, but in a different way. He's stealing those swords. He also has these polka dots on his cloak, and polka dots in the tarot can represent taking things too seriously and needing to not take things too seriously. So, I feel for a lot of you, this could be about releasing things or letting go of things, and that's exactly what I would do with that 7 of Swords. With the Hierophant, yes, you have the Wheel of Fortune, definitely a change in your fortunes. This is a very good reading here, Aries. I think that there could be a major improvements in your finances even, but this could just be in blessings in general or the way that you manifest abundance. It's almost like you finally have learned your lessons, and because of that, because you truly have learned your lessons, like you're not having to repeat them, which is good. With the 10 of Wands, you have the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands could be marriage. So again, we have the Hierophant. We also have the Page of Cups. We also have the King of Swords here. So, again, you could be attracting a very mature person in for a commitment. 4 of Wands doesn't say like, oh, you have to get married to this person tomorrow, but, it could be a person you commit to or you form a deep commitment with. The 4 of Wands is also a card of freedom. I think you truly need to believe that the universe wants you to be free. It's like the universe does not want you to be Devil, 2 of Wands, 10 of Swords, 3 of Wands, like waiting. I think the universe wants you to feel free. And the 4 of Wands is a card of freedom. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this is so easy. But, I do think working on setting yourself free from things and forgiving yourself for things that happened in the past or, whatever you need to do, doing those things will be very beneficial here, Aries. So I would. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Impatience card. It says, it takes time to build an empire. Your desire for instant results can hinder your ability to make good decisions. You have this Empowerment card. It says, are you ready to fully step into your power and accept all the responsibility that comes with it? Yes, too. 2 of Wands and 3 of Wands is stepping into your power. Both cards represent taking the lead on something, but 2 of Wands, he's leaving his comfort zone and like really taking the lead. 3 of Wands, he's going on an adventure. He's going somewhere he's never been before. So he's really kind of stepping into his power as well. And I think a lot of you could really be stepping into your power here, Aries, which is great. You have the King of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Strength card. King of Swords is about gaining in knowledge and wisdom. So with the King of Swords, we really have to gain in knowledge and wisdom. We really have to be kind of like brave, assertive, bold, but we also have to kind of like take the things that we've been learning for a long time, and we have to implement those things in our lives so we can be more successful. I also feel this could be a person that's coming in for you. I feel like you are attracting like a very sweet, abundant person. I don't know. There's like something popping into my head about this person where it's like, I feel like they are like a little bit of a nerdy badass. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. That's what's popping into my head. It's like, I think people it's like, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's like what's popping into my head with this person is it's like maybe it's the type of person where people see this person like as weak or something. Like I don't think they see them as weak, but maybe they see them like a nerd or something like that. But like really actually when it comes down to like, when the rubber meets the road, when it's time for action, I feel like this person's like a total badass, right? Really what I think it is that you could be attracting a person where it's like they don't have to say how badass they are. They just are. And so it's like this person doesn't need to do anything, right? And really that's what it is. But I don't know. Maybe that's a clue for some of you. It's like maybe you meet a person and maybe you're like, is this person, are they a weakling? Are they soft? But I don't know. I think they will show you just how hard they are. That's what she said. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card of following your heart. So I think that you need to follow your heart at this time. Again, I think if this is a person, I think you will be very attracted to them. There might be some questions like, is this person, are they a weakling or are they a leader? I don't know. I really don't even think it will be a question. Sometimes I think when I get readings like this with a person like this, it's just a person who's different. If you meet a person who's completely different than what you're used to, it's like, obviously you might have some questions and you might not be sure because maybe they act different or maybe they are different. But I would follow your heart because I think it's leading you towards something really good here, Aries. You have the Strength card. Again, a lot of people this week have had like strength and similar energies. So I think we're just in a time where we have to, kind of like put our strength on display. I think we have to be strong. I think we have to take action. I think we have to, do the work and all that other stuff. And that's what I would do with the Strength card for sure. With the King of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. With the Eight of Swords, we have to set ourselves free from these 8 swords so that we can move forward. So I would definitely be setting yourself free with the Eight of Swords and kind of like getting out of this prison. The good news is it's coming up in the good stuff. So a lot of you could be setting yourselves free from an area of your life where you have been feeling stuck, which is great. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Told you every single person has had multiple aces. You only have one ace, but still very interesting. Again, usually this happens at like the beginning of every year, but for some reason it's happening right now. And it could be because, June is such an amazing month compared to the first half of the year. It's so much better. So a lot of you could be kind of like starting new things or getting started on new things. And, I think that will be very good for you. But, I would take advantage of opportunity. Yes, with the Strength card, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So this right here kind of says that you have to take action on the opportunity. Knight of Pentacles is coming up in the good stuff, which can represent progress. So I do think you will be making a lot of progress here, Aries. But with the Knight of Pentacles, like we have to make the move. So it's time to move. You have this Dogs card. It says getting together with friends. Yeah, I think it's an amazing time for socializing. It's an amazing time to spend time with people who really support you and lift you up. And that's exactly what I would be doing there. You have this Target card. It says a goal-oriented person. So yes, I think that you need to become more goal-oriented and really try to escape the devil energy here and move towards something that's going to lead to more success. You have this Lobster. It says financial pinch. I actually think money looks really good here. So some of you could be getting out of a financial pinch because you have the Ten of Pentacles in the Wheel of Fortune and this abundance card. It's like the universe is providing, so I wouldn't even worry about it. You have this Dolphin Spirit. It says financial gain usually coming from something you did in the past. Again, we have this card here that says what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. I think you need to look at what you've been working on because, again, there could be some sort of benefit with something in the past. You have this Tower card. It says solid foundation, success with effort. Yes, I think there is a lot of success coming in for you here, Aries, especially if you put the effort in. But this looks really good, Aries. I like this. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.